Hi, welcome to the last edition for this season where we're talking about watching the standard meta. And of course, I have three decks to talk about closing up rotation for next week. Basically, a lot of cards are gone. So we're going to talk about how this deck is, how this format looks at the very end, and that's going to be the end of it. Not much to really ponder, I guess, just due to that pure nature that we are getting some sets rotated literally in a few weeks. So actually tomorrow is when the next set drops. I don't know technically when it drops on Arena, will it rotate on Arena or will we have the cards for a week before they actually are legal? I'm not sure about the ruling on that. But for now, this is literally the last season, the last episode before next one where we should have brand new Edge of Eternity stuff in the actual cards. Hopefully it shakes up standard because it's looking pretty grim. So breaking it down, right? Is it Cauldron has kind of just taken over the format. So VV, I said from the very get-go, should have been banned. Of course, they hit Cutter and they left VV alone, and it's just taking it over. That underneath a Soul Cauldron is just absolutely crazy. Demir midrange is still getting some traction. And the every other deck, Mono Green counters, which I'm pretty sure this is Landfall. If I'm not, it has to be Landfall because that's a deck I see quite a bit. I don't think, yeah, I don't see it anywhere else. So yeah, that has to be Landfall. So seems kind of weird. It's gaining a lot of traction. It's getting to be the third best deck in the format potentially, as Golgari keeps dropping. Boros tokens get a little bit of traction. Roots getting a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, overall, this format has kind of been solved. With Is It Cauldron basically as the best deck in the format. But I do have three decks to talk about today. So let's get into that. Rakdos Lizards came back. Somehow, some way, it's back. So it's nice to see. I wanted to give it a shout out. So thank you for piloting the deck for a sweet, 5-0 through a league. Especially since Lizards has kind of fallen off. It's not a traditional Lizards list though, but it does have some cards in it that is rotating, like Cruelty, Cut Down. But I was kind of hoping this actually would. I didn't actually look at the list. I just seen Rakdos Lizards. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I didn't realize this is not really Rakdos Lizards. It just has Flint, Claw, and a couple copies of Vine Lasher. It's not really Lizards, but okay. We also have Atalia, which is going to rotate. Bat, which is a good mid-range piece. So we have Hellkite for a little bit of land disruption. Appraiser, 3 copies. Solid card, getting extra value. And we have Go for the Throat for a removal spell. I think this also is rotating, if I'm not mistaken. Potentially, I think it is. I think it came out in Phyrexian set, unless it came out in Foundations. Bitter Triumph, pretty good removal. Duress, good sideboard card. We have more Triumphs, pretty good card to have access to. Um, this came out, what's that? Okay, Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Okay, so it's not going to rotate. At least not all your removals are rotating. That's good. We have a Flame, pretty solid. I think it's a sweeper effect. We have oh man, I'm just Unholy Annex, solid card for go grindy matchups. Lantern for graveyard hate. That is Rakdos Lizards technically, but not really. I guess you could count dinosaurs as lizards because they are technically a lizard, but we're not playing that semantics here. This deck I feel cheated. But the next ones hopefully aren't. So let's get into those. So a deck that made some sort of comeback is Teamer Otters. Flood Caller combo. So I don't know why this deck would make a resurgence all of a sudden, but it did. So we do have Trainer, we have our Vitality, we have our Talent, Analyze the Pollen to get our Flood Callers. So we could easily use our Vitality to keep adding extra mana to untap our Vitality and kind of go like that. Especially with the tokens, they tap for mana with Vitality and they untap with the Flood Caller. We have Stock Up for to find the pieces we need. Get Out for a little bit of counter magic. We have Song for a little bit of hazing. Into the Flood Maw, solid bounce effect. Bushwhack for fight. Potentially also can get our basics out of our deck. Because we are a 3-color deck. So Fire Magic for aggro. Barrage, pretty solid against blue base strategy. This also, I believe, is rotating. I think came out in March. We have Artifact Enchantment Hate. We have a little bit extra counter magic. We can Get Out. We have Sage for Artifact Enchantment Hate. Tiebinder for ETB triggers. Like a Tally if you're facing, I guess, Rakdos Lizards. But I guess it's okay. We have Negate for a little bit of protection against control. Curiosity for mid-range and control. Row for control. And Furnace for a little bit of additional removal. Spot removal plus a late game card draw engine. Pretty solid for the deck. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about Temur Ramp. Pretty solid list. We got our dragon up here. Our cheaper dragon that also is attached to a removal spell. Regent for a little bit of bounce effect or a potential big body. We have Overlord, pretty good ramp spell. Regent, pretty good ramp spell. And Elf is also a reasonable ramp spell. We are a surprise deck. So we can drop down our dragon, our tyrant, or our other dragons. Stock up for grindiness. Dragon Storm. So if we loop our dragons, we get more mana. Torch for early removal. Esper for surveilling. We have a little bit of a mini sweeper with Assault. So every time we play a land after the mini Wrath, we get a 4/4 dragon. 2 copies of Ugin. I'm not really sure what the Ugin is for. Seems kind of weird, since for the most part we don't play color spells. I don't even see one in the deck, except for the sideboard over here. But that's not what that's for. I don't know what this is for, honestly. If you know, let me know in the comment section if you piloted this deck to the 5-0. We have a Fire Magic for a little bit of mini sweeper. We have a Ghost Vacuum for graveyard hate. Torch for a little bit of more removal. Suplex. I think that is Artifact Hate, I believe. 3 damage to target creature. If it die, exile target artifact. So sorcery speed, Braid with slight upside. I don't know if that's really worth it or not, though. I don't know if there's really an indestructible creature, or I mean not creature, but artifact that you're worried about. Season of Gathering for grinding matchups. Fresh Start. I believe this is a counter spell. Nope, it is a -5 and 0, so it's good against aggro. We have Negate for control and mid-range potentially to stop removal. Counter Magic, Tidebinder for ETB triggers. Then we have a Summon, a nice little 9-drop at the top end. I guess against control, you don't really need the Assaults, so you want to cut the Assaults, bring in an actual other win condition. Probably going to be like Season of Gathering and potentially Summon. And you're not going to be, I guess then again, I think I'd rather just have this, right? Because every land you play makes a 4/4 dragon. Seems still cracked against control. Any other kind of deck like that as well. So, I don't know. I guess I would cut the torches. Possibly, but... Or maybe this dragon here. I could see that argument, since it only can hit creature without flying. It can't hit planeswalkers. So which one of these decks is you guys most excited about post-rotation? What decks are you actually excited for post-rotation? Let me know all that in the comment section. I believe tonight I will be doing a live stream over on Twitch, so come check it out look up KebbieG on Twitch. I believe that's my goal tonight, which when this airs. Just because, I mean, it is the next set dropping. I am pretty comfortable with where I am with the other card games. So I might have a little bit of time. Hopefully I can build a couple decks and get that going on live stream and then air the videos afterwards. So come check it out and chill with me, and I'll talk to you guys next time.